This is Demon Slayer, one of the most popular anime in existence. A story that started with a simple black and white manga panel was then transformed into something fully animated and unforgettable. But the world of anime is forever growing, so today I'm stripping all of that away, recreating 5 different anime using nothing but my action figures. Let's see if these moments can be reimagined once reduced to plastic. Demon Slayer. Created by Koyoharu Gotoge, it follows a story of Tanjiro Kamado, whose life has been shattered when his family is slaughtered by demons and his sister Nezuko is turned into one. Driven by his determination, Tanjiro joins the Demon Slayer Corps, undergoing brutal training, forming powerful alliances, and sharpening his skills with one goal in mind: to protect others from the same fate and a way to make his sister human again. When the anime premiered, everything changed. We're talking stunning animation, a massive audience, and a theme from singer and songwriter Lisa that became iconic. It was one of those cases where the anime elevated the manga and turned the entire series into a worldwide phenomenon. Now, my figure of choice for today's recreation is the SH Figuarts Tanjiro Kamado. This figure has a lot going for it: a solid blade, easy to swap faceplates, and awesome articulation, especially in the arms and torso, which is exactly what I'll need for his water-breathing pose we'll recreate. Water breathing is the first breathing style Tanjiro mastered before learning Hinokami Kagura. In the anime and manga, it has a very elegant flow to it, and that's exactly what I'm trying to capture here. The shot I chose is from the Mugen Train arc. Tanjiro on top of the train, facing off against Enmu, wind pushing back, water wrapping around him, blade at his side. To match it, I leaned the torso forward, lowered his stance a bit, and kept the sword down at his side to line up with the reference. I will say though, the biggest letdown of the SH Figuarts Tanjiro is that it doesn't include any water effects or even fire effects for Hinokami Kagura. Tamashii Nations and Bandai have released water parts though that are compatible with any of their SH Figuarts figs, so I think this will help us get the look that we're going for. While they aren't a perfect match to the elegant look seen in the manga and anime, I do think they scale very well with Tanjiro and they do get the job done. For the rest of Tanjiro's pose, I made small adjustments here and there, like tilting the head, wrist angle, and the robe articulation, which is pretty nice to have seeing how this isn't a soft goods material. Placing the water in the right spots and using some assistance from a Tamashii Nation stand, we have Tanjiro in water breathing mode, dynamic pose, flowing blade, and a figure that really sells this energy. While Demon Slayer has some elegance to it, Baki is all about brutal and intense fighting. In 1991, mangaka Keisuke Itagaki introduced readers of Weekly Shonen Champion to Baki Hanma, a young fighter whose entire goal in life is to defeat his father, a man known as the strongest creature on Earth. This is actually the same year another iconic character coming up in this video got their start, but we'll get to that one soon. For this recreation, we're looking at the Baki Hanma anime adaptation, otherwise known as Son of Ogre Baki Hanma. I think I have the perfect figure too: Storm Arena's Baki Hanma from Storm Collectibles. It's 1/12 scale, has a detailed sculpt, and a few extras for posing. Even if you don't know Baki, this is a solid figure, and there's a reason why this was one of my favorite releases of 2025. The move we're testing out here is Triceratops Fist, one of Baki's many moves. This is a very unique looking pose and one that feels almost impossible to do with this figure, but I think we have what it takes to get it done. I added a slight twist through the midsection. Making this small adjustment made the stance feel tighter and more aggressive, which is exactly the type of energy that Baki needs to have. From there, I made small tweaks like lowering the body, adjusting the back leg and head, which all brought the pose together. Alright, that actually turned out much better than I expected, which is great, but there's something I didn't tell you all. We're not just recreating 5 anime scenes today. I must also take on a crossover shot that'll combine 2 different anime I recreate today. In the meantime though, let's see what anime is next. Oh, this is a good one. So back in 1998, Yoshihiro Togashi was making waves in Weekly Shonen Jump with Hunter x Hunter, the story of a young boy by the name of Gon who becomes a hunter in search of his long-lost father, who also happens to be a world-famous hunter. And that spirit of adventure is something I really vibe with. When learning a bit more about Togashi, there were a few things that stood out to me and showed me that he wasn't just another mangaka. His love for collecting is what inspired the tale of Hunter x Hunter. And he also pulled inspiration from outside anime in the most unexpected place. One of my all-time favorite sci-fi classics, 1979's Alien. For this recreation though, we're not focusing on the main character Gon, but instead Killua, which is a friend that Gon makes along the way. We'll be recreating his Godspeed attack against Yuppie in the Chimera Ant arc. Not only does the SH Figuarts figure for Killua look great, but it also has a few accessories to switch things up, and some of them we'll be using for this pose, like Godspeed hair, these hands which match the shot perfectly, and lightning effects. Ideally, I'd recreate the full blast hitting Yuppie, but the only effects I have are the 2 lightning pieces this figure comes with, so those will have to do. The first thing I wanted to nail was the wide stance, legs far apart without losing any balance, and then the torso leaning forward just enough to show some momentum and movement in the pose. Killua's right elbow also needs to be positioned outward as if he's winding up for the next strike. Now it's time for Yuppie, and although he doesn't have an official SH Figuarts figure yet, the bodycoon actually worked way better than expected. Even as a stand-in for this iconic moment, the silhouette really sells what we're going for. One of my favorite things about this series is that not only does it help me understand the characters better, but it also allows me to get creative in different ways and also improve my posing skills along the way, which has always been one of my main goals when starting out this series. And that's only part of it, because the best thing about this series is seeing you all join in. I challenged all of you to try recreating an anime with figures in your collection, and I got a few responses back, including moments from One Piece, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Z, Demon Slayer, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and so much more. And this is exactly what I love about this community we're building here on The Geek Effect. So we've got one big thing to tackle at the end of this, the final boss. But before we could get there, it's time to check out our next anime. This one started back in 1991, the same year Baki first hit the manga pages. This is Sailor Moon. She's a regular girl who discovers she can transform into a magical warrior, destined to fight evil alongside the other Sailor Guardians. Now you may be looking at this team and thinking to yourself, this feels a lot like an all-female version of Super Sentai. That's because Naoko Takeuchi, the creator, was inspired by those shows. And the wildest thing I discovered is that Naoko Takeuchi is also married to Yoshihiro Togashi, the creator of Hunter x Hunter. Now for this pose, we're using the SH Figuarts Sailor Moon. Bandai and Tamashii Nations painted her in her anime colors, and she comes with a great range of accessories. Multiple hand options, expressive faces, Moonstick, and even Luna the cat with an articulated head and tail. We'll start with her iconic pose from the intro, her hand near her forehead, wide stance, and other hand on her hip with the hair flowing out to the sides. This figure has just the right articulation and proportions to nail this moment. This is a very simple pose to pull off, but it does look great. But if you wanted something more action heavy, let's try something like hair is flowing in one direction, arms up, and left leg fully extended. We pretty much have the look that we're going for, but in the anime, she's airborne, so to really sell this, we're gonna need some lift. For that, I'm using my Project Flight 2.0 stands. They're simple, clean, and once edited out, give her the lift that she needs. Both recreations landed well. SH Figuarts articulation handled everything smoothly, and the dynamic versus graceful contrast was fun to test out, but we're not done just yet. We're revisiting My Hero Academia. This is one of the more modern anime in this challenge. The story of My Hero Academia has everything I love: superheroes, classic good versus evil, and deeper themes like perseverance, selflessness, forgiveness, and learning how to make amends. It hit me hard in a way I didn't expect, and I even grabbed the first manga volume last year. And I definitely plan to collect the rest of the volumes too. Now, of course, in my collecting, one of the things that I had to get my hands on for this series were the action figures. For this level, we're using the SH Figuarts Ochako Uraraka from the later seasons. She comes packed with accessories, bendy wires, a zero-gravity effect hand, and even a faceplate from one of the most emotional moments in the series. If you've seen that scene, you know why this figure is a must-have, and why I would also suggest getting an additional copy of this figure for display purposes. Now, as soon as I saw the loudspeaker accessory this figure includes, I knew the pose I had to try.
We care about our friends and neighbors too! Just because someone has a special power, that doesn't mean they're a special person!
Ochako standing up for Deku, pleading with civilians to let him return to UA. It's emotional, vulnerable, but strong, in a posture that feels full of determination. To recreate it, swap in the proper faceplate, bend the arms at the elbows, adjust the knees slightly inward, and position her to capture that nervous but also very determined stance. The final touch is just adding the loudspeaker in hand and we're good to go. And that's just one side of Ochako. When she activates zero gravity, we can even recreate another moment like this from the anime. Two different ways to pose her and bring this character to life. Ladies and gentlemen, we've climbed through every level, we've posed every figure, and we've explored worlds both classic and modern, and now the moment we've been building towards, the final boss. This is it, the shot where everything comes together for those two characters that I choose. The poses, the angles, the little details all collide here. Let's go ahead and take this challenge down. Every figure, every scene, every choice we made along the way has led to this moment. This is why I love doing this. Taking characters from different series and seeing what happens when you push them into one shared moment. What's your favorite anime right now? I'm always looking for the next challenge, and some of the best ideas come straight from you all. There's still plenty of more posing, figures, and epic crossovers on the way, so stick around and I'll catch you all in the next level.